Well, hello there. It is your Celebrate Recovery Ministry leader, Aaron here, aka ML Aaron. And it has been a long time since I have made a video. Now, there are no excuses. Excuses didn't work in high school when I conveniently forgot my gym suit. So excuses aren't going to work now. I'm just going to say I have been a schmuck and I haven't made one in a while. But that all changes this morning because I have something that I want to share. Recently, I've had 3 different instances where people have said to me, why don't you make those videos anymore? Both of my boys, independently of each other, have said to me, Dad, you haven't made a video in a long time. Maybe it's about time. And then a new friend of mine that I just became acquainted with this past Monday night says, I used to watch some of your videos on YouTube and you don't make them anymore. Well, I had a principal one time, very wise woman who always said, when God brings something to you in 3 different ways, he really wants you to pay attention. So, therefore, I have a video this morning. And it is a topic that is good for recovery purposes, but even for those who aren't in a recovery ministry, today's topic is pertinent. And today's topic is the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. Now, no, this is not a leftover science lesson from my teaching days. It really does have real-life application. And I'm standing this morning in my garage workshop studio, and this is where I make stuff. I'm a maker. And some of the stuff that I make is handmade jewelry. And I really am into the idea of recycling things as much as possible. And just looking around my workshop, I have literally hundreds of glass insulators. You know, the glass insulators that sit on top of telephone and telegraph poles, especially up and down railroad easements. I have tons of those because I collect them. And most of the ones here in my workshop are common ones that I have many of the same style. And so they're not on display with the rest of my really good ones. So they're just taking up space. Might as well use them. I see paper towel rolls, PVC pipe, lots and lots and lots of copper wire. And you see, most of what I have, society would consider to be useless. It's a cast-off byproduct of something else. In fact, most of the wire I have, I didn't even buy. People donate to me. It's not unusual to come home and find a box with bits of electrical wire sitting at my doorstep. A friend has dropped some off that wasn't used on his work site, and he knows that I'll put it to good use. So here's where I take this concept of recycling and I use it both in my hobby and in my recovery. So the first R is reduce. Well, when it comes to recovery, how do we reduce things? I'm simply going to say, reduce those things that keep you from being close to the Lord. In fact, I'm going to go a step farther and say, cut them out completely. The Bible talks about a stumbling block. Don't put a stumbling block in your brother's way. Well, doggone it, don't put a stumbling block in your own way. If you're going to work and you have to be at the job site and there is something that is obstructing your path to work, you're going to go around that. And that's what we need to do in our daily lives, and especially in our recoveries. And the way to get around it is to not have it there at all. As a food addict, I know I can't take even a little bit of the good stuff that I like to eat because I won't stop there. It becomes a stumbling block. I can't just reduce it. I have to cut it out completely. I'm going to be candid for a moment. As a man, and the vast majority of you struggle with this too, as a man, I have the propensity, if I'm not on target, to have wandering eyes. And so I know that I can't even look longingly at a provocative ad on the computer screen or in a magazine. And I certainly can't let myself even momentarily stroll to a website that I shouldn't. It becomes a stumbling block, and I can't do it for even a moment. I have to cut it out completely. So that's how I'm going to encourage you to reduce. Reduce those things in your life that come between you and the Lord. Or better yet, cut them out completely. Now comes the reuse part. So when you've reduced all the junky stuff that's really easy to get rid of if you just try, you're left over with a lot of good stuff. And so I encourage you to reuse the good stuff. The things in your life that has worked, continue to use it. If you are a person who is really good at public speaking, it's a talent that God has given you, it's a good thing in your life, reuse that talent over and over and over again for God's purposes. If you are a person who is handy at making things, à la moi, you would use that gift, that talent, that skill, and do nice things for others. Use that skill to, again, further the kingdom of God. He'll show you how to do it if you are willing to do so. Reuse those good things in your life to glorify, to edify, to magnify the Lord. And don't tell me you don't have good things, because I know you do. God didn't make trash. All right, so here comes probably the most important bit, the recycle part. I again have so many things in my workshop that people would look at as trash. And in and of them by themselves, they really are garbage. The things that you would find in the trash. But I take those things and I make some really cool stuff out of it. I take my glass insulators I was talking about, I bang them up and I put them in a rock tumbler, and I tumble them for weeks at a time, and they come out to be these beautiful, smooth, aqua pieces of glass that look great in jewelry. I take old CDs and I cut them up and I make jewelry out of them. All the copper that I'm given, little bits and pieces that you can't use on a job site, man, I can take them and make really, really nice things out of them. Here's how that pertains to recovery and to your daily life. Once you have reduced and you've gotten rid of the stuff it's easy to get rid of, once you have got on board with the idea of reusing the good stuff, you're still going to have some trashy, junky stuff left behind. Hopefully not very much. But what's there? I challenge you, I encourage you to take that trashy, junky stuff and allow God to be the creator and make something beautiful out of it. Make something beautiful out of it. I take all this junky stuff in my workshop and I make beautiful things out of it. In your life, let God do that with your junky stuff. In my life, I allow God to take my experiences. I allow God to take my hurts, my habits, my hang-ups, my heartache, and use them in recovery ministry to help others. In a past life, I never would have talked about all of the struggles in my life. They got time for that. They got their own struggles. But I know now that I can use my experiences to help others. Those experiences are recycled, and God uses them in recovery ministry, and He makes something beautiful out of it. Take your trash, take your cast-offs, take your garbage, and make it into something beautiful. Or at the very least, be open to God taking it and making something beautiful. So there's a little bit of encouragement today. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's not all about what the city offers in those big blue bins you put your curb. It's about what you can do with the stuff in your life to add to just expand the kingdom of God and be used by Him. So I'm going to try to get better about making the videos again. I don't know. We'll just see where God takes it. I got some other topics and plans in my mind. And so there's my encouragement for today. Thanks for listening. Love you guys. Take care. Stay well. God bless. And just remember, my mess is his message. Have a good day. Bye, y'all.